Hello everyone, this video will cover Module 6. In Module 6, you will write your last short story for the class, and then the next module we're going to work on revision and review of short stories. So this one you're going to work on is called an energy story, and so we're going to focus on a couple of concepts related to building tension or energy in a story. Again, just like your other short stories, I recommend looking at the assignment early in the week so you have plenty of time to plan and draft your story before turning it in. So you're also going to do a discussion board in this module just to help you with that concept of showing versus telling, which is probably the most important thing that you're going to get out of this module. So I do have some readings for you to do. The readings, the one from Experiences, Not Explanations, is part of a section that you've already read. And then the one in Introduction to Creative Writing is something new. So there is a whole section on what does it mean to show versus tell, and how you can accomplish that. So the main thing I want you to get out of showing versus telling is that when you just tell someone something, it's typically just like a simplistic, the family was at the lake kind of thing, and it is something that does not involve a lot of action. And so you're just making a statement. Sometimes telling sentences will work, like you need them, but not always. And so a lot of times, I even see this in professional writing in novels that have been published, where authors could have shown something over telling it and made the story a lot more interesting because it pulls the reader in and creates tension. And so I also have a section, I have this video for you that you can watch if you want. This is an older lecture that I've done for my in-person classes, and it's just me talking over the PowerPoint slides, but that might help you. It's got some examples as well. So to practice this concept, you're going to do the story itself, but you're also going to do this discussion board. So this discussion board sort of isolates the show versus tell concept. So the first thing that you're going to do is write 3 separate sentences that just tell us something. So I've got my 3 examples here. There are some other examples. If you go down to this exercise here, there's some other examples here, and your task is just to post them separately. So like here, I've got the child was angry. So when I do my next one, the house was empty, I'm going to type it separately. I don't want them all in the same post, because if they're all in the same post, then people can't respond separately. So the main thing is you're going to do 3 of those, but you only need to do 2 responses. And the reason is because I only want 1 response per post. So if you get in here and all of the posts are taken, please send me an email, because I'll go in here and I will add some more telling posts so that you have something to respond to. So for your show post, this is going to take you a little bit longer, because I want you to write a paragraph that shows the statement and creates a scene for the statement, but doesn't directly tell us what that statement is. So those exact words, the child was angry, are not going to show up anywhere in it. So in this case, I've changed the child to the girl, and I've explained how her anger looks, as opposed to just telling us that she's angry. So that's the concept that you're working with here, is to show rather than tell. If you are struggling with this, or if you just want to, I've given you an AI option for this one. And basically you have 2 ways that you can use AI. Either you can you write your own paragraph, and then you ask AI to make a paragraph, and then you compare the 2. So what did AI do that you did not? Or you can have it analyze the paragraph that you wrote in order to tell you whether or not you did it correctly. So I've got 2 prompts here that you can put in here. I practiced the first one. I like Perplexity personally. It's a little bit more geared toward higher education. And so I just gave it the prompt, please write a 7-sentence paragraph that creatively shows the following tell statement: the plane was hijacked. And then it gave me this response of this description of the plane being hijacked rather than stating it directly. So what I would do is, then I had already written my paragraph. I would copy and paste this into the same response. So, I'm down here. This is not an example of this one, but I will say that I'm doing this one. I'm going to put that same response in there. I'm going to label this as this is the Perplexity AI paragraph. And then I'm going to give just a short, explanation of the differences between the two. Maybe there are some things that I told in my paragraph as opposed to showing, and then AI kind of did it correctly, or maybe the other way around. I don't know. Sometimes AI does weird things. So you have that option if you want to. If you do not want to use AI at all, you do not have to. It's not required. It's just an option. And then since that is an option, then you want to make sure that you are labeling anything with, where you got it from, which AI generator you used or something like that. Sometimes students will include the prompt, anything like that to just help us see what you did. So to me, it's just kind of interesting to see what AI will come up with given, and to see what other options there are for wording something that I might not have thought of. So then the last thing that you're going to do is actually write the short story. So this story, just like the others, you have your own original believable plot, and then beginning, middle, and ending with characters, dialogue, setting, all of that kind of thing. But the main thing for this story that is different than the other two is that you need a dramatic or unexpected twist at the end. So we're trying to turn things around at the end of the story. And so, you can go with murder mystery or whatever, but you could be any genre of story. You could use any type of characters here. The main thing is maintaining that tension. We don't know what's going to happen until the very end when we get that twist and we realize, that the person we thought was the hero is actually the villain or whatever. So some type of twist at the end that just turns things around on its head. So again, using your own original characters, own original storyline, but the main focus is that showing versus telling and that unexpected twist at the end. And you want to make sure that you're including some dialogue, some setting details, all the stuff we've talked about so far. So that will be what you turn in then, making sure that you get everything proofread, everything formatted correctly, and then obviously submitting here. Looking back, by this point, you should have at least one short story graded already. I try to grade them fairly quickly, but that doesn't, sometimes my schedule gets a little bogged down. So be looking back and seeing, are there any errors that you've made in the first two stories that you can correct in this one, that kind of thing. And then in the next module, we'll get a chance to really look at what are some things that you can start working on in your own writing to really improve how you tell your stories. So if you have questions, let me know. If you want me to look over a draft, let me know. Otherwise, have a great week.